Slashers. Bloody knives, masked killers, and endless screams in the dark. But do you know where this terrifying journey really began? And which films shaped the genre forever? Before we dive into the chilling history of slasher movies, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Hidden Truth, so you never miss our deep dives into horror, mystery, and the darker side of cinema. The rise of the slasher genre didn't just appear out of nowhere. While horror had existed for decades, the late 1970s and early 80s gave birth to something entirely new. Inspired by Italian giallo thrillers and classics like Hitchcock's Psycho or Powell's Peeping Tom, the slasher film was different. It often placed viewers in the killer's eyes and introduced faceless villains who hid behind masks. Sometimes they were mysterious strangers, and other times, shockingly, they turned out to be one of the victim's very own friends. This masked menace plus body count formula became the signature of slashers. So much so that they were sometimes simply called dead teenager movies. And while the first wave hit its peak in the 80s, the genre would later reinvent itself in the 90s with Wes Craven's Scream, which both mocked and celebrated everything we loved about slashers. Today, slashers live on, not just in films, but even in books from authors like Stephen Graham Jones and Adam Cesare, proving that this bloody tradition refuses to die. So, whether you're new to slashers or a seasoned horror fan, let's go through 10 essential slasher films that shaped the genre forever. 1. Black Christmas, 1974. Before Halloween, there was Black Christmas. Bob Clark's holiday horror dropped audiences into a sorority house stalked by a mysterious killer who made obscene phone calls before attacking one victim at a time. Released the same year as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it nailed the formula of the slasher movie before the formula even had a name. And the tagline said it best: "If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight." 2. Halloween, 1978. If one movie truly gave birth to the slasher craze, it was John Carpenter's Halloween. The eerie score, the suburban babysitter in peril setting, and most importantly, the creation of Michael Myers, the silent masked killer, changed horror forever. Its massive success proved that slashers weren't just scary, they could be box office gold. 3. Friday the 13th, 1980. Just 2 years later, Friday the 13th exploded onto the scene. Set in a summer camp, it followed the Halloween formula but added its own twist, introducing Jason Voorhees, though he didn't actually become the hockey-masked icon we know until the sequels. The first film was designed to cash in on Halloween's success, but it ended up spawning one of horror's longest-running franchises. 4. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. By the time Freddy Krueger slashed his way onto screens, Michael and Jason had already died and returned. But Freddy was something different. Supernatural. He didn't just stalk his victims in real life, he haunted their dreams. Wes Craven created not only a terrifying villain but also a surreal new twist on the slasher formula that gave us one of the most iconic horror franchises ever. 5. April Fool's Day, 1986. This one divides fans. On the surface, it's your typical setup: party weekend, isolated mansion, friends getting killed one by one. But its ending, let's just say it shocked audiences and still sparks debate today. Love it or hate it, April Fool's Day dared to play a different game with slasher expectations. 6. Child's Play, 1988. By the late 80s, the slasher boom was blending with the supernatural, giving us killers like Pinhead and Candyman. Then came Chucky, the foul-mouthed killer doll. With the soul of a murderer trapped inside a toy, Chucky became both terrifying and oddly entertaining. Unlike silent stalkers, he talked a lot, and his wisecracking personality made him one of the most unique icons of horror. Skull Quick Break. If you're loving this horror ride, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to your channel name. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Skull 7. Scream, 1996. By the 90s, slashers were fading. The big franchises had grown stale. Then came Scream. Written by Kevin Williamson and directed by Wes Craven, it flipped the genre on its head. Characters knew the rules of horror movies, poked fun at cliches, and yet still delivered brutal scares. Scream revived the slasher, proving that even a dead genre can come back swinging. 8. House of Wax, 2005. When the 2000s hit, reboots were everywhere. One of the more surprising ones was House of Wax, though it shared little with the 1953 original besides a wax museum. It embraced slasher brutality and backwoods horror vibes. Despite some criticism, partly because Paris Hilton starred, it delivered a grim, stylish entry that deserves a second look. 9. Behind the Mask. The Rise of Leslie Vernon, 2006. If Scream deconstructed slashers, this mockumentary took it even further. A documentary crew follows Leslie Vernon, a wannabe slasher, as he prepares for his killing spree, training, setting traps, and explaining the rules. But as things unfold, the crew realizes they may be caught in something they can't control. It's both hilarious and chilling, a love letter to the genre with a twist. 10. The Final Girls, 2015. Can a slasher film be PG-13 and still work? The Final Girls answered with a surprising yes. In this heartfelt meta-horror, characters get sucked into an old slasher film, giving one girl a chance to reunite with her late mother, who had played a character in the movie. Both touching and terrifying, it proved that slashers can still evolve in unexpected ways. Final thoughts from Black Christmas to The Final Girls. Slashers have slashed, stabbed, and reinvented themselves across decades. They've gone from masked killers to dream demons, from dolls to self-aware parodies. And yet, their power to thrill us hasn't faded. So, which of these slashers is your favorite? And did we miss one that gave you nightmares? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, before the killer catches up with you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for more chilling breakdowns from Hidden Truth. Because in the world of slashers, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Cooking knife.